Everyone, welcome back to another lesson. In the last lesson, we talked about how you can work with methods with JavaScript objects, and we were able to see how you can add method both while in the object or outside of it. So we've talked a lot about methods when working with objects in JavaScript, which I believe that about two previous videos I've covered. And this particular video will just take it a little step further and just take a look at one other object method before we move away from this concept of methods and objects in JavaScript. And for a quick refresher, I just want to quickly use this text here as a quick reminder of what object methods are in JavaScript. Object method are action that can be performed on object. So the methods, when you apply method to an object, is just something you use to perform actions. Like we've seen in an example of the previous video, whereby we have a function that returns property of the object, and then we're able to use that to actually call that method as a function at the end of the object. And also it says that the method is a function definition stars a property value. So also is the fact that this method that we're talking about, you actually use it like a property value. You store it like a property value, like the way you store your key value pair in the properties of your object. So these and some other things were the concepts that we've discussed in the previous lesson, but just a quick reminder is why I'm bringing them up again in this particular lesson. So in this lesson, I want us to just look at one other method, and that method is to uppercase, that you remember that we've talked about when we were learning what's the name, when we were learning strings in JavaScript. So I want to believe that we are able to remember it as we are talking about it again in objects. And this is what I mean. So in string, if you have something like this, let's name equals Kent, and then you want to apply methods to it. So we're able to do something like this: document.write, and do say name to uppercase. And then I hope you can see, okay, let me not use this. So yeah, you can see it clearly. Document.get elements. Document.get element by ID. And then here's my ID dot inner HTML equals, yeah, I can just use template string, or I can just use it directly and call my variable name. And you can see Kent. Now I want to use a method on it, which is to uppercase. I want to change it from that small letter and do it this way. And then you can see that my a variable has turned to a capital letter. So this is how the to uppercase property works on a string. So now we are not talking about string, we're talking about object, and we are going to see how we can apply this method to properties of JavaScript objects. So let's dive in. So I'm going to take this out, and I'm going to start by first changing this part. This would be working with object methods. And I also want to change this part as well to something like to below example uses to uppercase method to convert text to uppercase. So let's now make it. So I'm going to come inside my script, and then I will make my object the usual way I'm going to be using person in this example. Then I'll give it first name, blessing, last name, cherry, and then give it a random ID of maybe 23 years, whatever, something like this, which will be my properties of the object that I declare. And then I'll come outside it to add my method. My method is going to be given a name of its own and then assign it a function, just like we did in the last example. And then I can return what I have here and then return it. Return this dot first name space this dot last name. And then the method I want to use here is to uppercase. You can see I'll just pick it from here. In my case, you can type it, but I'm just picking it from what I have. And this way I can just output what I have here, document dot get element by ID demo dot inner HTML. Then I'll call my method name, person, object, and my method name as a function. And with this, I should be able to get the correct output. What am I saying? Oh, this is dots and not comma. That is why I was getting object. And now you can see my first name and last name. So this is where I'm adding my function method. And you can see this property of to uppercase. I am applying it to these are two properties of my object. I'm saying change this to uppercase, and you can see the output in my screen that I'm getting uppercase interpretation of the first name and last name, which are the two properties of the object that I have declared in my code. So this is how you use the uppercase method on properties of an object. So you can use to lowercase depending on an instance of what you are trying to achieve per time. So if I change it to lowercase, you can see that all the cases have become lowercase now. So this is how you use the to uppercase method with properties of objects in JavaScript. Thank you, and we will continue in the next